All right, guys, wanted to do another video here and continue to talk about narcissism, avoiding narcissism, dismantling narcissism. And, just wanted to hop into it, straight into it. And so it has been said that snitches run the industry. Okay? Okay. So you may have to think and ponder upon this for a second, but while you still have time, and then avoiding this at any all costs, is could be detrimental to your life. And so maybe talking about this, it helps me a little bit, but I ultimately would like to see somebody else actually practice humility, actually dismantle a narcissist, and ultimately coach them, which would be leading by example. Okay, leading by example, and you taking the high road and actually being better. Okay, actually being the best version of yourself, actually doing something. Okay, actually accomplishing something. Not no made up lies. Not no fake news mumbo jumbo. Okay, not no media hype, not no lies that are told in any shape or form. So any of the fake news, any of the fake media, you have to realize that they're only inserting their own agenda. And so narcissistic standards set by society. Okay, so so I wanted to title this one and to really focus on this phrase: snitches run the industry. Okay, so that's what it was. This was about, and then wanted to just elaborate about that. So that could steep that heads of the dragon. That dragon has 7 heads, and it's a narcissistic dragon. Okay, that has no good in it. Good is not in it. Okay. Can come in various industries then. Okay, various industries that you think people worked hard for, you think they deserve to be there. They don't. You may think that they went through a struggle to be there. They pulled themselves up by their own bootstraps, and they struggled, and they really did that, but they didn't. Okay, reality, and it was as it was told to me, it was snitches run the industry, and they lied, they snitched, they ratted their way to get notoriety. They were able to gain notoriety from that. They were able to feed off of energy. Okay, and in a lot of let's just be nice and try to take the high road, but just as a society overall, what controls the society, the overwhelming force that controls the society, that has manipulated the society, that has lied to the society, has built it upon snitches. Okay, they've stacked bricks upon the snitches, and these people who you think were good, you may think, wow, well, these people they were a prosecutor, they were a judge, wow, they must be really great and like really honest and this and that. No, they were the best liars, they were the best snitches, they were the best betas, they were the best pieces of crap. They gave up a whole lot to be there. Okay, actually, it'd be hard to find a strand of good in them. Okay, actually, if you really got into detail and started to identify them, it would be hard to find anything good. Okay, so the snitches run the industry. Okay, so the whole industry is shown favor to these snitches and to rats. Okay, 45% of all the criminal cases come from snitches. Okay. And that, if somebody just told the truth or was a witness, that's not a snitch. That's not a snitch. That's telling the truth. Okay. Somebody gave their truth and gave their testimony. That's just telling the truth. That's not a snitch. Okay. But what is a snitch? A snitch is somebody who's paid to lie. Somebody who was paid to maybe dig up dirt on somebody, maybe to incriminate somebody else, but ultimately they end up telling lies on somebody else, okay? And somebody who is a hardcore drug addict, they might pay them in drugs. That's a real sick reality in society, that somebody who was a hardcore drug addict and they paid them in drugs, and they would sell you out in they wouldn't even a nanosecond, not even a full second, a nanosecond. Okay, they would sell you out for drugs. Okay, so that sucks with somebody who you think you could trust. Maybe you thought they were your friends. They weren't your friends. Okay, maybe you thought that they were your best friend. They weren't your best friend. Maybe you thought that you could trust them. In the sucks when that's an administrator. That's somebody who was in this miseducation of the education system. That sucks when it's somebody who you thought earned their way to the top, earned their way to the place that they sit in society, that's stepped by the criminals in the justice system. So identifying that and identifying them as the criminals and identifying them as being the antagonist, them causing the problem in the first place, would be justice in itself. Would be justice is that you're going to have to identify or just avoid them at any and all costs and not being around them. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, but snitches run the industry. Okay. So if you're around people who are using those narcissistic catchphrases, hey, watch this, I was the one, inserting their own statement, and they can do this in like 3 or 4 different ways. But so what you're saying is, another example might be they might take a little a sound bite that was already spun in a later case, and they may say that in like sometimes in a press report or something like this, and then maybe they may take that little phrase and spin it. And so what were you quoted by saying this way back when, and did you say that? Oh yeah, well, I said, and they'll stop you right there, because that's you were only entitled to answer, not get into this explain. So you see this in the Senate, a lot of times that they'll do this, and when somebody who is properly in the Senate, they'll start to grill somebody, and you start to see them do this, but they're inserting their own statement and then getting you to sign off on it. Okay, so total narcissistic game that they're playing, and they're only going to use your words against you. Okay, and that's even getting into a higher level that's supposed to be above the criminals in the justice system. But true justice would actually be you identify them, you avoiding them, you actually setting a standard for yourself, taking the high road, actually being real talk, actually being about it, actually doing it. Okay, not and so you can't associate with these people at any and all costs, and even acknowledging them at being the antagonist by calling them out, they're going to spin and try to twist your words, and so it's not anything good, and it can only be detrimental to them. And snitches run the industry in this sick world we live in. So I'll wrap this up.